Hello, I am Jeff Lehman, an instructor for the Hermelin Ort Resource Center at JVS Human Services. In today's work from home environment, it is especially important to boost your technology skills for increased productivity and better job opportunities. This is why we have created our webinar series, The Modern Toolkit. Our webinars will be uploaded weekly to the JVS Human Services Facebook page. Continued learning through the Hermelin Ort Resource Center is a great solution for your training needs. Now is the time to take advantage of our webinars and online learning through Ed2Go. If you have any questions about today's training or other resources available through JVS, please post them in the comments section or email me at hermelinort@jvshumanservices.org. And I will have that email address at the end of this presentation. So welcome everybody. If you were around in the first LinkedIn presentation, I talked about how to set up LinkedIn, how to upload your resume or fill in the online forms. And what I intend to do in this version is to talk about how to make you a power user, how you can develop connections, network with other people, how you can use LinkedIn to look for jobs and set job alerts so that the jobs are sent right back to you. So here we go. And basically, we are going to go over the promotion. We talked about how important LinkedIn is. LinkedIn nowadays, 90% they say of job requisitions are the employers are actually going to LinkedIn to look for people. So it's become extremely important. It's like your internet business card. 80% of jobs nowadays are found through networking. So networking can be accomplished very effectively by using LinkedIn. It's a very important tool. And we're going to go over that, how you can create a customized URL, skills endorsements, why it's important to have that on there, and how you can have people like your skills, write you letters of recommendation, your connections, how you can connect with people, build up your network. We are going to talk about my network, your own network of people, how you can add people in, how you can filter people in your network based on filter criteria. Like, for example, if you want to see all people that work for General Motors, you can do it. How to do a job search, and how to set those notifications in the job search area. The Me section, which is the section about you, where you can change the settings, you can change how your LinkedIn page displays, and things of that nature. Posting, which is putting messages out there, how you can do it, the importance of doing it. Your dashboard, which is your activity hub of LinkedIn, which shows the activity of things that you've been doing, things you might have posted, people you've communicated with, those sorts of things. Your awards and accomplishments, and why that's important. Your interests, things you're interested in, and why it's important to put those on there as well. Okay, let's get started. What I want to do now is talk about promotion. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go over to my site right here. This is my LinkedIn site. And at the beginning, importance of a picture. The importance of a picture is it makes your site relevant and it makes it look real. If you don't have a picture, employers may think you have something to hide. They may think that, quite possibly too, that you don't take your LinkedIn promotion very seriously because you're putting up a incomplete LinkedIn profile. So if you have that kind of attitude, they might have that kind of attitude towards you and say, well, this person's not taking themselves seriously. Why should I take them seriously? So always have a picture up there with it. Now, a couple other things. Edit public profile. This is where you can actually customize your URL. Now, sometimes if this is not seen right here, if you click on the Me function, click View Settings, it'll take you right to this. It just happens to be showing up on mine, but it has been hidden in the past. So I click on Edit Public Profile, and I'm going to move this out of the way. And this is my URL right here. Actually, this right here. If I wanted to change it, I could click the pencil. Remember, the pencil allows you to edit things. So it's a really important tool. And I could type something else. If I wanted to type something else here, I could. And as long as nobody had that, it would accept it, and that would be my new URL. Let me go back here. The More section is a section where you can actually share your profile. I could click more, share my profile via message. So let's say an employer calls and they say, can you share your profile with me, so that you don't have to sit there and type this big, long LinkedIn address. You can just share the profile, and all they have to do is click on it. They don't even have to type in an address or anything. It's pretty cool. Save it as a PDF file. Quite possibly, maybe you want to do that. Somebody may want to look at your LinkedIn site as a PDF file, and if they ask you to do that, all you do is you click more, save it as a PDF. If you want to build a resume from scratch, you can do that down here, and you do have that functionality of being able to do that. Okay, so that is the initial promotion phase of what I want to talk about. Next thing is connections. Like I mentioned, networking is extremely important with regards to LinkedIn. And the more connections you have, the better connections you have, I should say, it makes it really good for networking. Now, to get to my connections here, I go to where it says 500 plus connections. That's what I have. Now, it's showing me people in my network here. These are people that I connected with, okay? If you want to message these people personally, you would click, on the person's name, then you'd click message. Okay, then what would happen is you type a message down here. I want to attach a file, I could, and then I would click send, and it would send that person a message. Okay, now there's 3 levels of connections that I want to talk about. First level, second level, and third level. First level is somebody who I connect with directly. And connections are made by sending out a connection inquiry, which I will show you in a moment. If you send out a connection inquiry to somebody you want to connect with, and they say, yes, I'd like to connect with you, they click on their end, yes, and then you are connected to that person. Now, if they send one to you and you connect, or you send one to them, that's known as a first level connection. Second level would mean this person is connected to somebody else that you know, and you've reached the person, and that means. Third level would mean that that person is related to your second level connection. Kind of a funny situation that comes about, but that's how it does it. Over here, it'll tell you down below here too who else is a shared connection. So these are first level connections. If I wanted to see the second level, I click up here and then choose that. Now, current companies, let's say I wanted to see all people that work for General Motors. I would click on General Motors right here and click apply, and it's showing me people that are in my network. Now, these are all people that I have connected with as connections. So it's showing these people here, and they work for General Motors. Now, I'm going to take it out of this for a minute, cancel out, and I could say location. Let's just say United States, and click apply, and boom, it's going to show me even, it would widen it to show me more if I wanted to do that. Clicking clear right here will clear the filter out. All right, now, if I wanted to go to my network here, by going over here to my network, it would actually show me a few things here. It's showing me my connections, and I can see my connections by clicking here. This number is the amount of connections I have. Teammates is actually people that I may work with, that I report to, and if I click here, I can add them in. So it's just some more functionality that you can have on your LinkedIn site. I'm going to just back up a bit here. Contacts. Contacts, the difference between contacts and connections is that contacts are just people in my email. They're not necessarily connections, but the way they got in here was at the very beginning when I set my site up, there was something that came to my email and said, hey, can we grab your contacts and put them in your LinkedIn site? And I said, yes, and boom, LinkedIn goes out there, it gathers your contacts and puts them in there. And it's basically people that are in your email, people that you emailed, and they may or may not be connections, but you can even use the contact section to find connections if you want to. People I follow, this is indicating people that I have actually physically followed, which means that you are, when they send something, a post or a blog, you are in their network and it will come up on your site. Groups, there's a lot of groups out there, audio engineering groups, there's groups for lawyers, groups for doctors, groups for just about anything you could think of. And the advantage of adding yourself into groups, actually you're not really adding yourself, you're just adding the group in as you being interested in it, and it goes in your interest file, is that information about trends in the industry, things that are going on, you are in that group. So you might want to add groups that correspond to what you're interested in your field, your career, and you will see information about all that coming up. Events is just what it says, things that are coming up here and there. Pages or other pages out there. Newsletters. Now hashtags I want to get to. When you put a hashtag before something, like let's say I'm searching for something and I put the hashtag, the reason why that's important is because what it'll do is every time I put the hashtag, it will search for everything that has those words or group of words in it. So if I say good audio engineer, it's going to look for everything that has that in it. So you may even want to use a hashtag when you're explaining yourself or you are creating a post. Hey, I'm a great computer specialist looking for work. And then you put a hashtag before the words computer specialist. So when other people are looking for a great computer specialist, your name will come up. So that's the reason why hashtags, it's really a good search feature. Now, what LinkedIn will do is it will take information that you have on your page and it will make suggestions. Down below here, it says people you may know from Macomb Community College. I went to Macomb Community College way back when, so it's actually bringing up other people that I may know. And if I want to connect to those people, I can click connect and it will send a connection inquiry. Now, just by virtue that I click on connect doesn't mean I'm going to be connected to that person. But what will happen is it will send a connection inquiry and then it'll go into pending status. Okay, so what will happen is when that person says yes, if they say yes, then I'm connected to them. Now, no pending invitations would mean that nothing is coming in waiting for me to, if somebody sends me a connection request, it would mean that I have a pending invitation. This just hasn't updated itself, but it should be saying that there's a pending invitation in there. Okay, and I can undo it anytime by clicking there and then just withdrawing it. And it's withdrawn. Okay, so that is how you make connections. And the reason why connections are so important is because it gets back to networking, being able to connect with other people. Now, what I want to talk about now is skills and endorsements. Let's get over to that. Now I can always get back to my home page by clicking home here. That will take me back here. And I want to scroll down the page here a little bit to skills and endorsements. It's extremely important to put your skills and endorsements, as many as possible. Now, you may not have any endorsements. That's okay, you can get them. What you're going to do is click on add a new skill. It's saying suggested skills based off your profile, and it actually puts words in there for you and you can click the plus sign, or you can click the add sign and add something in, or type it up here, and it will become one of your skills. You can also click on the plus pencil and do that. The trash can would take that skill out, okay? And then you can move the skills around by clicking on these bars right here and moving it, and then click save. I'm not going to just do that. Now, show more would show me more. These numbers next to these skills actually indicate people who have given me likes on these skills. Just like Facebook has likes, you have likes too. And when somebody likes your skill, that's an endorsement because they're saying, hey, I know this person knows a lot about this kind of a skill. Now, one of the things you can do is you can set your notifications up so that people can send you these endorsements. You can ask for a recommendation here, okay? I've received 12, and I've actually given 11 recommendations. People had sent stuff to me saying that they wanted me to give them a recommendation for this or that, and then I did. And then once you do that, you ask for a recommendation, that person writes you a recommendation, then what you can do is decide if you want to put it on your LinkedIn site. You don't have to put it on there, and it doesn't appear automatically. It has to be with your permission. So to ask for a recommendation, I would click ask for a recommendation. Who do I want to ask? I'm going to put in somebody. Now, when I put in people's names, these are people that are in my network, okay? Anybody out of my network is not going to show up. So I just typed in the first bunch of letters here. I'm just using this person as an example. This isn't real, by the way. She didn't manage me directly. Position at the time. Let's just pick a position here. Click next. And then you can actually leave the text in there and click send, and then this person, you know, would either give you a recommendation or not, or I could highlight this and type over it a letter and then click send. The person may or may not give me a recommendation, but if they do, what'll happen is you'll get an email notice saying that that person gave you a recommendation or whatever happens to be. So that is extremely important to build your network and to also have your skills and endorsements listed there. One thing I do want to go over now is the job section here. And it's one of the things that's extremely important and extremely valuable is to be able to set those things. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to click, I'm at the top here, by the way, and you can easily navigate around. Remember, the Me section is for the settings, notifications of things that you want sent to you, messaging, you can message people. Jobs, we're going to go to the Jobs section now. I'm going to click on Jobs. And what you can do is use this to look for jobs. You can save those jobs, apply for them. You can put some job alerts up. Okay, so let's say I wanted to search. Now I could search by title, skill, or company. So let's say I type by title, and let's say I'm going to put a city in. Now notice I put Detroit. It picks Detroit metropolitan area, Detroit, Michigan. You could pick either one. Sometimes you want to go wide, sometimes you want to focus in. If I said my hometown city, then it's only going to look in my city. So if I want to look, I live you know, on the outskirts of Detroit, so if I want to take in the whole metro Detroit area, I will expand it as such. And then what it's going to do, it's going to bring up some jobs here, and I can click on those jobs. Sometimes, and a lot of times now, they're putting the actual wage here that you'd be making, okay? And it also tells you the area where they're looking. Now, right here, job alerts are off. If I click that, I can receive daily alerts by email, and then click save, and then that is what's known as a job alert. Okay, so it's a notification. So what'll happen is I'll get these jobs sent to me in my email, which is really, really cool because it saves you, the job searcher, a lot of work when somebody else is doing the footwork for you. Now I can also go by date posted. I can go by experience level, company, job type, and there's a lot of other filters that you can actually use. So that's a really cool function, and I would admit that it is something that in the past when I was looking, I had actually done that, and it really worked out really cool. So I thought that that was a really effective way of doing things. Okay, getting back to my home here, home page, I can always click the home thing here. Yeah, here we are. Other things I wanted to point out is by clicking on the in for LinkedIn, it brings you to where you can put a post. Okay, now putting a post up is good because it circulates your name around. Maybe you want to post an article. Maybe you're actually inquiring, hey, does anybody know about anybody hiring computer teachers in the Detroit area or whatever? So you can actually post it. You can put a photo. You can post a video. Whatever you want. You can write an article. The cool thing about it, like I says, is it puts your name in front of people in your network. They see your post. Aha! Joe Smith. Hey, that's cool. Let me check Joe Smith out. So it keeps you relevant, and it keeps your name in front of the possible employers if you're adding some people that you'd like to work for, into your network. And then, like I said, you can add a photo, you can put a video. It's entirely up to you. Going back home here, trying to navigate around. I can actually always click on my picture. That'll take me back here. And scrolling down here, there's my dashboard. Who viewed your profile? Sometimes it'll tell you exactly who viewed it. Sometimes it'll say that that person viewed it private mode. What I've been noticing is happening is you can see how many people have viewed your profile. It looks like it's gone down a bit. All right, kind of losing it a bit there. So you can see a trend of what's happening. People, like I said, sometimes it'll show you the actual people that looked at your profile. Down below here, it says 3 LinkedIn members. They're viewing it in private mode, which means that they don't want to let their identity known. A lot of times, and I suspect employers that are looking for people are doing that because they don't want the people, hey, you looked at my profile, they don't want people contacting them back. They want to be secretive about it. So you see a lot of that going on. The other thing I wanted to talk about is extremely important. Scrolling down here, and that is your skills and endorsements, your recommendation, and your accomplishments. We didn't talk about that yet, accomplishments. So you can click on the plus sign and you can add accomplishments. Maybe it's a publication, a patent, a course, an honor, award. Extremely important. Employers want to know that you made a difference where you were working. Not that you just worked there, but what did you do? What kind of awards did you? Remember, there's no such thing as bragging when you're developing your LinkedIn site, because if you don't brag, the next person might, and of course they may get the job. So you really want to know. Obviously, be as honest as possible. I should rephrase that. Be honest. There you go. Okay. The plus sign allows you to put all that stuff in there. So whenever I've gotten any teaching awards, boom, I put them in LinkedIn. So People can see it, not just teaching, but other things as well. Now, your interests, like I mentioned earlier, you can go to a site and add it as an interest, put it in there, and it becomes part of your interest, okay? And the reason you might want to do that is because you will get news feeds from these organizations or people or whoever you add as an interest, and it could be something that may help you out. Another thing that I want to cover, probably the final thing, searching up here, I could search for somebody. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody in my network. It could be somebody outside my network. Okay, Warren Buffett, no, I don't know him. If I click connect, it will send a connect to Warren Buffett. And if he says yes, then we're connected. I can still message him, even though I'm not connected to him yet. And I can still do what's called follow him. If I click more, I can click follow. Now, since this says follow, that means I'm not following him yet. When I click follow, then what will happen is I will be following him. So I'm following him now, and it says following. All right. I could add him in here if I want. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. I do have a PowerPoint presentation for this, and I want to thank you, and I want to wish you the best of luck in developing your LinkedIn site and actually using it to search for a position. Okay, one thing that I want to get to now is I want to talk about a couple things here. If you have any questions about today's webinar, this is the email address you can email me at, and that includes if you would like me to send you a PowerPoint. And I'll leave this up here for a second. If you have questions about JVS, about any of these topics up here, this is the number you can call. I'll leave this up here for a second. All right. I want to wish you the best of luck. Have a great day.